My name is Anthony Pruitt.
And how long have you been trucking?
I've been trucking ever since about 2005, 6. Yeah. Come to the industry because the opportunity was good. The flexibility, home time. To be able to enjoy the scenery, and I just enjoy driving trucks. Well, I was worked for AT&T. I was like a coordinator for AT&T. Worked overseas for the government, but got back here. It really wasn't no job opportunity, but in my field. So I was looking for something that was feasible for me to enjoy, to have time to relax, and be able to make money. So I know the truck industry was the thing to be in. Good money, home time, being able to be your own boss, be able to have flexibility, to enjoy the scenery, and meet people different places. Tip I can give a driver working with the dispatcher is to be honest, open-minded. Take your job serious. The dispatcher is really there to help you to build your company, because the company I work for is on an operating race company, and to be able to have your own business and thrive is the dispatcher is going to try to help you make as much money than you can out here in the industry. So I think it's wise to be on the same accord with your dispatcher. My first driving job was, like I said, I was with AT&T. I drove pole trucks and I drove utility trucks.
Okay.
So, but to be able to drive a semi, it takes a lot of patience, and the work industry with driving trucks is totally different than driving just a regular car or smaller vehicle. It's what you call a Smith system, and to watch out for, it's about looking at getting the broader picture. And that's what I like about it, because I see everything, and it just makes me feel good as being a driver and being in control.
Right.
Well, I always had a strong vision of looking, at driving and doing something special. But it took me quite a while, because when I first started just being, a professional driver out here, I was in a training program, and it gave me a little jitter, but once I got used to it and got behind the seat, it was pretty easy. It was pretty easy. I really enjoyed it. Well, I went through a situation that a company I was working for, they gave me an opportunity to sit there and buy into the truck, and I had 2 trucks, but I didn't want to grow my business like that, but I was kind of doubtful not to do it. But once I got into it, I seen the money, I seen the opportunity, I seen the growth, I seen the opportunity to be able to relax and do what I want to do to grow my business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the only thing I can tell you as tricks, I always say tricks is for kids, but tips, I can give you some tips being an owner-op, is to make sure that you keep your equipment up. Make sure that you go by the rules of the company that you're working for. DOT is out there to help us. Also, as a driver, I think that, you got to get the broader picture. If you're going to become an owner-op or any driver as a professional driver, get the broader picture. Make sure you get into some kind of course or class that teach you the Smith system, because it saves your life. It keeps you not just be focused on driving. but to be able to save your life and look at the whole picture when it comes to safety. I can tell you that I had a incident one time that I was driving, and that's the reason why I sit there and say about the Smith system, that it was a good experience, but it was also a bad experience with me. That if I didn't take the Smith system, that it was the time that traffic stopped and a car was driving, and all of a sudden that we was on a 3-lane highway, and the lady stopped on the highway. So I'm in my truck and I'm watching the whole picture, and I can see a situation that wasn't a good outcome. But I used my Smith system. I was able to sit there, and when I seen the car stop, I had my distance right. I was able to blow my horn and get the attention of the other driver. The other driver seen me, so I faked and went toward the lane. They slowed down, and I was able, had enough cushion because I knew I wasn't gonna be able to stop, to be able to take the lane, be able to slow down good enough to save a lot of lives. So that was very, it was a situation that took me by surprise. When it become a business and being a truck driver, I feel that I stay out long enough to be able to enjoy what I need to enjoy when I get home. So I sometimes stay out 2 to 3 weeks. So that's my goal. So each truck driver, they pick and choose how they want to. Well, I mostly do everything except California and New York and New Jersey, because I feel that New Jersey, New York is not feasible for me. California is that's something I don't, but I can go all the way up to Las Vegas. I have poured to Las Vegas, but mostly the East Coast, Midwest.
Okay.
Something like I think I'm pushing about 1 million. So, yeah.
That's a lot of time.
Yes, sir. The advice I would get: make sure that when you go and purchase a truck, that you look for something that's feasible for you, and make sure that the truck is in good shape before you get with a company, because time is not on your side if your truck is in the shop. So it's best to make sure that your truck is already is good to put on the road. Make sure that that you do your maintenance. Make sure that you keep up with things, don't let it linger out. Keep up with it. Make sure you keep your truck in good operation status, and make your money.
Yeah.
Well, I have a friend at the company that I work with, Status, Steve Thompson. Good friend of mine. He's a type guy. He's into that type business. But I want to keep it just plain. One truck. I had a couple trucks, but I like to keep it plain and watch my growth like that. Yeah. When you accept the load, you want to make sure that you're on the same page with your dispatcher. For one thing, you make sure that you take the load and be an on-time person. That means make sure that when you're accepting the load, that you can complete the load from the shipper to the customer. And that's very important, because that depends on your next load through that broker or the dispatcher. So if you stay on one accord and you try to do things, it make it easy for your dispatcher, and it make it better for the customer and the receiver, because then you're working as one, and they look at you as a number one on-time person. How I handle breakdowns on the road? Well, I get with my DM, what I call my dispatcher, good dispatcher. I get with her, I let her know what the situation is. Depends on the situation. If I can complete the load or not. If I can complete the load, we'll try to work it out, and then she will get in touch with the right people she needs to get in touch with, if that's the customer or the receiver. And then we're on the same page. And they'll give you flexibility, depends on how bad they need the product. Yes, yes. Well, the longer you become a trucker, the more wiser you get about the road and how the business is ran as being an owner. Safety. You see a lot of things out here that you see and say, hey, I can't not get myself in this situation. I done seen a lot of pile-ups, and I say, hey, how did these guys get themselves? And I use it as a tool to keep me out of harm's way. So, safety is the number one thing to me as an owner. Money can be made in any kind of way you put it. You can go out and cut grass, whatever. But when it comes to safety, that's the key thing of being a driver, period. That's what I look at.